much for stopping by with Love Mom in my wonderful kitchen and enjoying this lovely kitchen experience with me on today. What are we going to do today? Well, I know by now you are probably sick and tired of Thanksgiving leftovers. I am. A couple of days of that is enough. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? Today I'm going to teach you how to make a protein-packed, absolutely delicious spaghetti with a homemade spaghetti sauce made with your own two little hands. And guess what? It's not hard to make at all. You're going to love it. It's going to be delicious. And yes, I said packed with protein because it's made with a lot of good proteins that you're going to love. It has turkey in it, and it has chicken in it, and mushrooms and fresh tomatoes, and ooh, you're gonna love it. I promise you will not be disappointed. So let's stay tuned and check out what's cooking in the kitchen. Okay guys, to start off our awesome spaghetti sauce, we're gonna start by getting our tomatoes prepared for the homemade sauce. Here I have about 11 Roma tomatoes. Let me move them off so that we can start cutting. So I have about 11 Roma tomatoes, and then I have a small bowl. That's what I'm going to put them in to get them ready. We're going to roast these tomatoes in the oven instead of putting them in the pot right away. So basically I'm just cutting them into fours, however you want to cut them. Oops. And usually you can use a small serrated knife, or what you would actually call a tomato knife. But because this knife is pretty sharp, I'm using this one. It actually works really well on tomatoes. And as you can see, I am wearing a glove on that hand, mainly because I had a bit of a kitchen injury and cut my finger. So I don't want to get any kind of acidic juices like the tomato juice or anything like that into that cut. Because that would be disastrous. Alright, so I'm going to, and as you can see, I'm not cutting off those ends because alrighty, now that we have those cut, I'm going to get them ready to put them in a pan. Okay, so we're using this large pan so that they have time, room to roast. And I'm going to use a little olive oil. A little olive oil, and just drizzle over top of the tomatoes. It's about 3 or 4 tablespoons, guys. And I'm just going to mix that olive oil around with the tomato. Remember I told you, best tools in the kitchen is hands. Clean hands, clean hands. Okay, so now on top of that, we're going to sprinkle a little garlic powder. A little pepper, a little bit of sea salt, and then we're going to mix that around again. Make sure that each piece is covered with your seasoning. Now, we're going to actually take a little fresh basil, and instead of cutting it, I'm just going to break it up and put it in here with it. See, we have fresh basil leaves, so I'm actually just going to break it instead of cutting it, and just 3 or 4 leaves, and put it in so that it can infuse into the tomatoes. You're going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for roughly about 10 minutes to roast off the tomatoes. Alright guys, so I've already cleaned off my cutting board, and now we're going to get ready for our things that we're going to saute to go into the sauce. Over on the stove, we already have some water getting boiled for our spaghetti noodles. I'm going to cut up this onion. Oh shoot, sorry. And cut up the onion. I'm leaving, notice how I leave the end on so that it doesn't fall apart. That also helps with you crying because of the onion juice. And sometimes you can actually like rub cut lemon over top of the cutting board. That way the juice helps to stop it from, you know, getting in your eyes. Juice from the lemon traps it. Okay, so we're going to cut up onions, to cut up some of our mushrooms. Put it into a bowl, off to the side. Sorry. Okay, and we're going to take our mushrooms, and with these kind of mushrooms, you guys, these are the baby bella mushrooms. You just take a paper towel or a dry kitchen towel and wipe them off to get the dirt off. You can rinse them. The problem with rinsing them though is that they get, because they get wet, they get a little soggy and kind of hard to deal with. So that's why it's always suggested that you just rub off the top, rub them off. And I bought these already pre-packaged from the store. And then you can actually rinse them after you cut them, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut first and then rinse. That way I've already did what I needed to do before they get wet. Okay, so this also is going to go into a bowl. And then I have some of the leftover shiitake mushrooms from a few days ago, so I'm going to use the rest of those. Okay, then I'm going to wipe off my board so that I can go ahead and cut up my basil. Now with our basil, what you're going to do is you're going to take fresh basil here from the store. I'm going to take a few leaves. It doesn't take a whole lot. And I'm going to put the leaves together. Best way to cut it. Put the leaves together. And roll them up like so. And then you can cut them that way. And that's how you get your basil cut perfectly. Alright, and now we are ready to go to the, now we're going to get our meat prepared for our awesome spaghetti. And what we're doing is we're actually doing some ground turkey Italian sausage and chicken mixed together. High protein, baby. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. And I know my husband and my daughter's going to love it. And so we're going to cut up this chicken breast that I had already marinated. It's just one breast split in half that I had already marinated, because we're going to cook all this together, saute all this together. And then we're going to, let me turn it around. And I'm trying to cut it into kind of small pieces so it kind of gives the appearance of ground chicken, but it's not ground chicken. Because my husband likes his spaghetti really, really meaty, which is why we are cooking it this way. The knife going over into it. Now we have some Italian sausage, but it's ground turkey Italian sausage. It's not pork, so very healthy alternative, and it's still really good. So I'm going to use some Italian sausage here that we got at the store, and we're going to break that up into the bowl with the chicken. Awesome, awesome. And then we have some ground turkey we're going to put in. Alright, so we are now adding in our ground turkey. And we're going to season this before we cook it. And basically all we're using is a little garlic powder. Okay. And you can season it to your liking. A little sea salt, sorry. I'm using some fennel because my family likes that sausagey taste. A couple of teaspoons of fennel. And I'm using white pepper. And we're going to put some oregano in and some Italian seasoning as it's cooking. Okay, so again, you got to get your hands dirty a lot of times. So we're mixing all that around together, and this is ready. So we're going to move over to the stove with this. I already put a little cooking spray in the bottom of the pan. It's already hot for us. So what we're going to do, and cut the fan off, is we're going to go ahead and drop in our onions and mushrooms and basil. This is a high protein meal, guys, because mushrooms are very high in protein and vitamin A. Vitamin D, sorry. Vitamin D. So they are very, very good for you. I'm sauteing that around. Have that also on medium high. So that it can caramelize down. And as this caramelizes down, we're waiting on it to finish sauteing, and then we're going to add in our meat. Okay, now that our mushrooms and onions have sauteed down, we're going to add in our meat. Get that all mixed together. And get that nice and brown. Now we're going to add in a little Italian seasoning with some oregano. And just a couple pinches. And you can smell that basil. And I said, too bad I don't know how to invent smell vision. If I did, man, I'd be rich because y'all would love it. Alright, so we're going to let that brown, and then we're going to check on our tomatoes in the oven. Should be about ready now. Spaghetti is ready. We're going to drain that off in just a second. But what we're going to do is our tomatoes have come out of the oven. So we're going to put this over in a deeper pot. So once you add all your meat and everything in, you're going to need some space. You're going to put in all your roasted tomatoes, and then you're going to put in 2 cans of tomato paste. 2 cans of tomato paste. That's going to give it that thickness you like in your sauce. Alright, 2 cans of tomato paste and 1 can of tomato sauce. Because you need some of the liquid, but you don't want to put water in it. So now that you got your tomatoes in with your tomato paste and your tomato sauce, you're going to take a spoon and stir it around here. Then you're going to take that same spoon, so get you one that's kind of sturdy, and mash your tomatoes a little bit, because they're going to be really soft when they come out of the oven. But like I said, you want sauce, so you want to mash them up a little bit. You can cut them real tiny if you want when you cut them, but I like kind of the chunkiness in my sauce, which is why I cut them into 4s. It makes really good sauce. Okay, now in this sauce, you're going to put a 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm using white pepper today, guys. And then you're going to put 2 teaspoons of oregano or Italian seasoning, whichever one you want to use. Because you've already seasoned your meat and you seasoned your tomatoes before you put them in the oven. Cut your fire down to medium so it doesn't burn. And so you put, you season all of this stuff before already, so you don't need much. Okay. And then we're going to put our meat in with it. Okay. Stir that around really nicely. There we go. And you're going to have some very good sauce. And give you a secret, if you want to give it a little twang, put a little barbecue sauce in it. And it is absolutely delicious. So now we're going to put this on low, and we're going to put a top on it and let it simmer for about 7 minutes. Alrighty guys, so now this is done. So we're going to put all of this together with the spaghetti and everything. We've already drained off our spaghetti. And how you keep your spaghetti, guys, from sticking and still cooking after you finish it is after you drain it, run cold water on it. So we're going to put our spaghetti in a bowl and have it ready for our sauce. All right, my darlings, there you have it. We made us a wonderful, wonderful spaghetti dish. Our pasta was a pasta that I got from a health food store, Sprouts to be exact. That is a pasta that is actually made with vegetables. So within the pasta, there is a full serving of vegetables. See that? Didn't see that coming. And it tastes exactly the same. You can't tell the difference. We actually made our spaghetti sauce from scratch with our own 2 little hands, and it wasn't as hard as you thought. And I promise I will try to remember. I'm going to remember to put the ingredients to the spaghetti sauce down below in the description box. And it was a high protein, very tasty, delicious spaghetti sauce. It has all the good stuff. It's got turkey in there, and it's got chicken breast in there, and it's got mushrooms in there. And you're going to love it. If you try this recipe, you are not going to be disappointed. Trust me. I got you. So, now, if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the recipe and enjoyed what you saw, just enjoyed watching me be a little bit of a clown, which is okay sometimes. If you enjoyed the video, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, which I think is on this side, I hope, and then give us a thumbs up, and then share this video with somebody that might just want to check out some homemade spaghetti sauce, or even just any other particular recipes to just have some different ideas for dinner. So let's review. We're going to subscribe, we're going to give us a thumbs up, and we're going to share. That's a good combination. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it for you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to visit with little old me and give me a little bit of your time today. I appreciate it. I love you, love you, love you. I'm enjoying my time with you. Happy holidays, everybody. Have a beautiful evening and happy cooking.